When we spoke of fasting and celibacy, we explored the art of conserving and directing life energy. But conservation alone is not enough. What you preserve must also be refined, purified, and guided. This is where the breath, attention, and inner sound come in. You see, the breath is not just oxygen moving in and out. Every inhalation, every exhalation is a bridge between body and spirit. Watch how your breath moves when you are angry, when you are joyful, when you are anxious. The quality of breath is the quality of your inner state. Now, imagine if you could consciously shape your breath, not in a forced way, but in an aware, harmonious way. Suddenly, the body aligns, the mind quiets. Energy begins to flow without resistance. I want you to understand something about breath work. It's not about complex techniques or holding your breath underwater for a long time. It's about bringing awareness to the natural flow of your breath. It's about feeling how each inhale and exhale is a dance between you and the universe. When you do this, life energy, which is called prana in Sanskrit, starts to flow through you in a balanced way. Your nervous system calms down. Your body becomes lighter and more energetic at the same time. And your mind becomes sharper, clearer, and focused. So ask yourself, when was the last time you really paid attention to your breath? How often do you let your breath just happen without your awareness? Start paying attention to your breath, not to change it, but to understand it. Feel the coolness of the air as you breathe in, and the warmth of the air as you breathe out. Notice how your belly rises and falls with each breath. By doing this, you are connecting with the rhythm of life itself. This is the first step towards mastering life energy. Breath is the steering wheel of life energy. The serpent may uncoil, but without direction, it can thrash. With conscious breathing, it glides upward like a river, finding its true course. Then comes attention. Have you ever noticed how your attention seems to wander from one thing to another throughout the day? One moment you are thinking about a task, the next you are lost in memories or worries about the future. Our attention has a huge impact on where our energy goes. If your attention is scattered, so will your energy be. But if you can hold your attention steady, like a flame in still air, your energy crystallizes into a force of transformation. That's why ancient traditions place such emphasis on concentration practices, on gazing at a flame, a mantra, a form. These are not rituals of the past. They are technologies of focus. They train the restless mind to hold, to penetrate, to see beyond surface realities. You might have heard the story of Swami Sivananda, the yoga master who sat for 14 years in a cave in the Himalayas in deep meditation. He was asked, "How did you sit for so many years in deep meditation without distractions?" He replied, "Every time my mind wandered, I brought it back to the flame of my candle." Now, some may think this is a fairy tale, but there is a profound truth in it. If someone can sit for years in deep meditation by focusing on a simple flame, how much change can they bring into their life through focused attention? Remember, energy always follows attention. So start paying attention to where your mind wanders and gently bring it back to the present moment. Don't get frustrated if your mind wanders. Just bring it back. Over time, this practice will strengthen your attention muscles. And then there's sound, not the noise of the outer world, but the inner sound. If you become silent enough, deeply receptive, you will hear it. A subtle hum, a vibration at the core of your being. The sages called it nava, the unstruck sound. This is not imagination, it is the pulse of life itself. Tuning into this inner sound aligns you with the fundamental rhythm of existence. You are no longer just conserving or directing energy. You are harmonizing with the cosmic current. Have you ever closed your eyes and listened to the sounds around you? Maybe you could hear birds tweeting, leaves rustling, or cars passing by. But what about the sound right here, right now, inside of you? Can you hear it? This sound is not created by anything in particular. It is simply there, vibrating at the deepest level of your being. It is the sound of life itself. When you tune into this inner sound, you enter into a state of deep peace and stillness. All the noise of the outer world fades away, and you are left with a sense of profound calm. Here's a simple practice to help you tune into this inner sound. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Now, don't try to listen for a particular sound. Just let sound happen. As you sit in stillness, you may hear a faint humming sound. This is the inner sound, the nava. If you can tune into this sound, it will lead you to the source of all energy and all creation. Now, let me ask you a question that might challenge your understanding of reality. When you breathe, do you feel the breath in only your chest or throughout your entire body? If you look closely, you will find that the breath moves through every cell and atom in your body. In fact, the breath is not limited to your body. It extends to the entire universe. Everything in existence is interconnected and interdependent. Nothing exists in isolation. Let's take the example of the sun. You might think of it as a distant ball of burning gas, but the sun's energy is actually flowing into your body right now. Its rays are nourishing your skin and providing you with light and warmth. Similarly, you are connected to the earth, the air, the water, and all the elements that sustain life. This means that the breath is not just a biological process. It is a link to the web of life that connects all beings. When you breathe, you are participating in the flow of energy that sustains the universe. Imagine for a moment that you are a leaf on a tree. As you sway in the wind, you are connected to the tree's roots that anchor you to the earth. You are bathed in the sunlight that provides you with energy to grow. You exchange gases with the surrounding air, sustaining your life. Through your veins flow vital fluids that nourish and protect you. In this state, do you not feel a sense of unity with everything around you? This is the same state of being that you can access through breathwork, attention, and inner sound. When you do this, you are no longer just a separate individual. You are part of a larger whole. But remember, the true essence of life energy lies in stillness. When you dive deep within, you discover a profound stillness that is beyond the reach of words or concepts. This stillness is the source of creativity, intuition, and wisdom. It is the space from which all activity arises and to which it ultimately returns. It is the eternal ocean of potentiality, the ground of being. You might have had experiences in your life when you felt completely at peace, totally connected with everything around you. Maybe it was when you were in nature gazing at a beautiful sunset, or listening to the sound of waves crashing on the shore. Or perhaps you experienced it during a moment of intense joy or love. These moments, however brief, offer glimpses of the stillness that lies at the heart of existence. They remind us that we are not separate individuals, but rather integral parts of a greater whole. In these moments, there is no distinction between subject and object, between self and other. There is only a deep sense of unity and interconnectedness. It is as if the boundaries of the ego dissolve and you are left with a pure, unadulterated awareness. In this state, you realize that you are not just a consumer of energy, but a channel through which energy flows. You become a conduit of the life force, allowing it to move freely and abundantly through you. So whenever you feel disconnected or drained, remember to turn inward and reconnect with the stillness that is your true nature. Let your breath flow, your attention soften, and your inner sound resonate. In doing so, you will rediscover the abundance of energy that is always available to you. Here's the crucial point. You are not striving to awaken Kundalini. Kundalini awakening is not a goal to be achieved. It is a natural consequence of your inner transformation. You are not forcing a dormant energy to rise. You are clearing the path for it to rise naturally. Think of a river. Its source may be hidden deep in the mountains, but its path to the ocean is clear and direct. Similarly, your Kundalini may be dormant, but with each conscious breath, each focused moment of attention, each tuning to the inner sound, You are clearing the path for it to flow. This is the beauty of the path of moderation. It is not about extreme practices or Herculean efforts. It is about aligning with the natural rhythms of life, conserving energy, directing it with awareness, and allowing it to flow freely. When you do this, you become the embodiment of energy. The seeker becomes the sought. The journey inwards becomes the destination. Remember, fasting and celibacy are the cornerstones. They create the space, they still the mind. But it is the breath, attention, and inner sound that fill this space with life. They bring energy into motion, into expression, into creation. So keep walking this path. Keep conserving, directing, and harmonizing. And as you do, let go of the need to force, to achieve, to manipulate. Let the journey unfold naturally. Trust the process. For when you do, you will discover that Kundalini awakening is not something that happens to you. It is something that you already are. Now, I have a question for you. What practices have you found helpful in your spiritual journey? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story may inspire someone else on their path. Also, if you feel that this message is valuable, please consider sharing it with others. Together, let's spread awareness and transform lives.